ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930 present The Drive.
It is Friday, May 1st. Welcome to May, and it's time for your drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. I'm your host, Paul Swann. Our text line this hour is brought to you by Clark's Pump and Shop. We do that at 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. We got a lot of things going on. We're going to get you caught up on everything with the Thundering Herd. Softball getting the win yesterday. Marshall beating James Madison 7-3. You got two homers from Sydney Burko, and she's now the program's season's, get this, are you ready for this? Single season home run record leader. She's the one. She has it now. So Marshall and ULM are still tied. Nothing was decided, and nothing's going to be decided. So the Herd's got to get it done. And again, if you sweep, you got a share of the title. That's the easiest path. You don't have to worry about anything else. You've got a share of the title, and you're probably the number one seed, more than likely. But if you lose, you're going to have to hope that ULM loses. So just win out. That's it. That's all you need to know. But it's been a huge season so far. So with Burko hitting 20 and 21, which set the program's new single-season home run record, the Herd's now 37 and 14, 17 and 5 in league play. And right now, every time the Herd wins, that sets a new mark. Every time. 38 is going to be a new mark. 39 is going to be a new mark. You go into the tournament, you win and keep winning. New marks. Marshall had 11 hits. And for those of you that have been keeping score, that is the 14th time this season with 10 or more in a game. Jules King got a complete game, 8 strikeouts, 16th win on the mound. That is the most by a Herd pitcher since 2023. And so now everything is going on as we speak. The Herd and James Madison got underway just moments ago at Dot Hicks Field. I'm hoping that the weather will hold out. For those of you listening live, if you're traveling throughout the tri-state, a little overcast right now, but hopefully we'll get some of the game in. If not, all of it shouldn't be a problem. But again, Marshall just has to win, and that's it. Win, you get a share of the championship. If ULM would falter somewhere and you win out, outright champion. Doesn't matter if you're the 1 or 2 seed. I think either way you're good, but I would think the Herd would be the number 1 seed. Marshall's just having a tremendous season so far, so we've got to talk about that further. Our text line, again, is 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. To be a part of today's show here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Now, with that being said, we've got baseball action for you tonight. Yesterday, the Cardinals beat the Pirates 10-5, and the Reds beat the Rockies 6-4. So, we've got the game for you. 6:20 is going to be our airtime between the Reds and the Pirates, opening up a series in Pittsburgh tonight. And we'll have that here again for you all season long. Pirates baseball, ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. The Cleveland Guardians opening up a series tonight, 9:40 in Sacramento against the A's. We've got NBA action to tell you about. First round game. Game number 6. Cleveland at Toronto, 7:30 tonight. Cavs lead that series 3-2. So the Thundering Herd getting things done on the softball side of things. Now it's time for baseball to start getting some things done. And the Herd opening up a 3-game weekend set against James Madison. We're back in Sunbelt play. That is coming up next hour. The Herd's trying to get itself a spot in the tournament. Kentucky will play host to number 24 Tennessee. That's coming up next hour. Number 18, West Virginia, will play host to Kansas State tonight at 6:30. Number 16, Nebraska, will visit Ohio State. That's coming up tonight at 6 o'clock. Also, Marshall Track and Field getting set. It's going to be competing at the University of Kentucky's Jim Green Invitational. So a lot going on across the mounds. Track and field, obviously. That's going to be big for the Thundering Herd. And the series with softball, that's got to be probably the biggest one on deck for the Thundering Herd. And again, there won't be a Sunday matchup. It's going to be Friday and Saturday. 3 days, Thursday, Friday, Saturdays, because we got tournament to get ready for. So if you're used to that Sunday cadence, if you haven't been already, you got one more opportunity. If you're not there now, Saturday is probably your last opportunity to go to the dot and see the herd. So we got your text coming up. We'll do that at 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Something else I want to get into, and we're going to break that down further in just a minute, but yesterday, social media, that's where a lot of the teases, the announcements, once upon a time, it was just, hey, we're going to send press releases out, and we'll hope that the media gets it out to everybody. We're going to send this stuff out. Now, that still happens, but now you got to build up hype because everybody's doing it. You got to get on social media. You got to build up hype. And so yesterday, the hype video emerged from Marshall Athletics. Hey, we got a big announcement coming up on Friday. We got a big announcement coming up on Friday. And so people were wondering, well, what can that be? And the tease video, it showed a football player, a little obscured, didn't go all the way up to the helmet. And there was some thought here that, okay, maybe we got a new helmet design. Maybe we got something coming up that's going to be pretty cool. Maybe. Fans love the helmets, right? Anytime you come up with a new helmet design, fans love the helmets. And so that started to generate a little bit of buzz. What could the announcement be? And then, of course, I had a little fun with it. And I asked you, and thank you, you responded absolutely in grand fashion. I asked for what could it be, and give me your best wrong answers only. We're going to run down what those best wrong answers were for what Marshall Athletics put out. Big day tomorrow with the eyeball emojis. See you back here in the AM. And, of course, it had a Marshall football player. You see the just a quick turn. Yeah, you have the glove on the visor, and you're thinking, okay, maybe we're getting a new helmet. Maybe there's something there. I'm not going to tell you what it was if you don't know. I'm going to save that for the other side of the break. And your text, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. This is The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
The Summer Fun Passport is here. Sign up for this free passport and earn prizes all summer long. Go to the station's website or Facebook page, click the Summer Fun Passport, and register. That enters you into a 3-night trip to Myrtle Beach. Amp up the fun by visiting our participating local businesses. Check in on the Summer Fun Passport and you'll earn points to win more prizes. Check in at these great local businesses: Heart in the Park, Buddy's All-American Barbecue, Cal's Tavern, The Red Caboose, Tudor's Biscuit World, the Paramount Theater Ashland, Gallipolis First Fridays, Nice Street Live, Jerks Pullman Square, and Tailgaters Carryout. Sign up now. The Summer Fun Passport is free. Earn prizes all summer long. The Summer Fun Passport with Kindred Communications.
For 20 years, Elite Welding Academy has trained top pipe welders and helped build strong careers. They now offer evening classes, and you can finish in as little as 6 months. New classes start every 2 months. Don't wait to change your future. They're VA friendly and work with all WIOA offices in the tri-state and offer financial aid to those who qualify. Plus, their job placement team helps you get hired. Get started at EliteWeldingAcademy.com. Elite Welding Academy, built for what's next.
I'm with Chris from Christopher's Eats. Chris, the new brunch menu is perfect. I had the steak and eggs last weekend, and my wife loves the brunch bowls.
Hey, thanks a lot for that feedback. It's been great so far. But listen, you got to try the breakfast nachos and the Monte Cristo next time.
Sounds good to me. Plus the mimosas, the Bloody Marys, they hit the spot, but it's only available on Sundays, right?
That's right. It's Sundays 10:30 a.m. to 3.
Try brunch for yourself with Christopher's Eats. Order it online, Christopher'sEats.com, or stop in Route 60 Huntington.
Here's another Kinder Communications community chat at the Cowboy Huntington Health Department. Again, offering monthly evening vaccine clinics throughout 2026, improving access and convenience for community members. Those clinics being held the first Monday of each month from 3 to 6 at the Cowboy Huntington Health Department, 703 7th Avenue in Huntington. No appointment is necessary.
This Kinder Communications Community Chatter brought to you by Ohio Valley Bank, dedicated to giving you the financial answers you deserve. Ohio Valley Bank, member FDIC.
Spring is here, and it's time to hit the road. Don't let worn-out tires, old wipers, or a weak battery slow you down. Tom's Auto Clinic has everything you need for smooth spring driving. From fresh tires and reliable batteries to quality wipers, Tom's is your one-stop shop for your spring car care needs. Their expert team will keep your ride running like new. No matter where you're headed, Tom's Auto Clinic. Tom's Auto Clinic, 1818 Eastern Avenue, Gallipolis, Ohio, has you covered.
It's spring cleaning season. Out with the old and in with the new. At Sue's Junk and Antique Mall on Camden Road in Huntington. With over 400 vendors, you'll find incredible furniture, primitive decor, unique items, collectibles, action figures, lots of the new season, new finds, and new reasons to explore. Spring into Sue's Junk and Antique Mall today. Skip the ordinary and discover something unforgettable. At Sue's Junk and Antique Mall, 459 Camden Road in Huntington.
Stop in today at James Family Outfitters and find the perfect gift for Mom. Gift cards make a great Mother's Day gift. Or shop the Mother's Day sale going on now. 10% off ladies' athletic shoes, Brooks, New Balance, Under Armour, ladies' jeans, shorts, and Western tees 10% off. Ladies' athletic sandals, Sanuk, Under Armour, Ufos, and Skechers 10% off. Shop early for the best selection at James Family Outfitters Mother's Day sale. Stake your claim. See the folks named James. Sale excludes Birkenstock, UGG, Simply Southern, and Atrix.
For the safety of students, families, and teachers, schools across our country are closing.
School closures can have significant and lasting consequences, particularly for vulnerable students who may face hunger, homelessness, and even trauma.
That's where our organization, Communities in Schools, can help. For years, we've had caring adults inside schools, helping these students stay in school.
Now, we are taking our work beyond the school walls. Our caring adults are delivering meals, providing household supplies, connecting kids with online classrooms, and using technology to maintain the one-on-one relationships we know can transform the lives of students and their families.
Communities in Schools, going wherever we are needed, doing whatever it takes to empower students to succeed in school and in life.
To see how you can help kids succeed, visit communitiesInschools.org.
This is The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Miss an episode? Catch it anytime on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
We continue with your Friday edition of The Drive here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Our text line this hour, it's brought to you by Clark's Pumpkin Shop. 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. So Thundering Herd Athletic Department making an announcement this morning, but yesterday teasing it on social media. So we had a little bit of fun before that announcement came out. We'll get you those responses in just a second. I do want to go to the text line first. I think this will be a quick reply here. Texter says, Paul, I know it's a long shot, but I think Chris Massey should be considered for the Football Hall of Fame. He only had one missed snap in 10 seasons. What are your thoughts? I like Chris Massey. So here's my problem with the argument that he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. What are the accolades? If we're saying consistency, yeah, heck of a consistent player. Should people get into Hall of Fames based on consistency, longevity? Is it an award for longevity? Is it an award for consistency? Is it an award for moments and accolades? What did Chris Massey do? Can you give me a resume to support the argument? Sure, he was consistent, and that's clutch for a team. How many Pro Bowls are we talking about? How many defining moments are we talking about? How many moments can we say? And can you make the argument for him? Great career, consistent. You want him on your team, absolutely. But the way the Hall of Fame is constructed, does he get in? And I'm going to say no. Based off the criteria, I don't think he gets in. Now, again, I'd love to have him on my team, and I'd pick him in a minute. Hey, who do you want? Hey, I want Chris Massey. I know it's going to be consistent. Never going to fail me. Never. Not one time in a 10-year career. One blemish. That's it. That's not really even a blemish. So I like Chris Massey. I don't know if he would be considered for the Hall of Fame. I don't know if you can make the case based off the criteria of what the Hall of Fame is. You know, what are the accolades? You know, are we just, hey, he's a nice guy. He was really consistent, locked in, did his job all the time. You know, what did he do that stood out? What did he do that was really Hall of Fame worthy? And are we just basing his Hall of Fame admission on the fact that he's been around a long time and he did a good job? And that's my take on that. I appreciate your thoughts. Hey, you can make the case. 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Now, with that said, I think he's good with his life. Again, you take the rock solid career. Now, yesterday, the social media buzz for the big day tomorrow announcement began as the Thundering Herd put out on its Herd Zone account, big day tomorrow, with the eyeball emojis, with a little glimpse of something. And people are thinking, hey, this is going to be a new helmet. Hey, okay, this is going to be really cool. Going to be a new helmet here for the Thundering Herd. And I was sitting there thinking, no, that can't be it. So we had a little fun yesterday on social media. And I asked, what could it be? Well, give me your best wrong answers. So I'm going to share those with you. I know I'm delaying what the announcement is here, but I thought our responses were actually hilarious. First of all, we had someone post a picture. You remember Benji? When it was Benji's Harley Davidson, he come out in the Harley. It was dressed up as a bison, and Marco would be on the back. Well, somebody put that picture. Okay, the announcement he's coming back. That was hilarious. I love that. Tim Stevens from HD Media said that the Thundering Herd's going to be changing the nicknames to the Thundering Turtles. That's Tim's nickname. He's known as Turtle. Someone who has a fixation on the lights said new shadow puppet team to perform at halftime under the new lights at the Dome. Not the best work out there, but that was funny. Noah said, bringing these bad boys back, and it was the silver helmet with the green faceplate, the green trim, and the Marco snorting over the M with the star over Huntington It was the West Virginia logo. I mean, the state of West Virginia with the M and Marco snorting. You remember those? Bringing those bad boys back. Friends in Low Places replaces Thunderstruck as the new Herd intro song. That's a reference back to multiple episodes of this show where Friends in Low Places voted by me, and it's the only ranking that counts as the worst country song ever. Trace said the 1983 gold uniform throwbacks. Hey, that would have been cool, actually. I don't hate those. Some people do. I do not hate those. Bill said a return to the proper hunter green of the early 2000s. Yes, absolutely. The proper. It was the correct green, right? It was so correct that we put the seats, we made the seats the correct green. I had one sweet little lady come to me and just point out when I was at an event one time, like, you see my sweatshirt? I'm wearing Marshall green, not Ohio green. Like, yes, ma'am. Let's see. Justin said, DJ Heard That is back. Okay, that was good. Okay. DJ Heard That is back. That's the announcement, sure. Let's see. Yogi the Bear. Again, I love this. I love some of the handles on X. Yogi the Bear said, Charles Huff Hall of Fame induction. I mean, football championship, right? 3 seasons, football championship. I'm not hating on it. Thank you, Coach Huff, for the championship. Let's see. G says, Marshall opens a space program. The AD wants to see if it's possible to have games on the moon, and football players are ambassadors for the first Earth game played off planet. That's interesting, actually. Okay, a little creativity there. I appreciate it. I'll give that 10-10, no notes. Would that be the Bill Knoll Flight School just adding rockets to the curriculum now? Is Marshall going to get a space shuttle or something? Let's see. Kelly Green says Charles Huff Man of the Year dedication. Let's see. Richie Rich. You got to be of a certain age to get that reference. Home and home with that other school. And then Mr. Herdon says Christian Spears is the new executive assistant to the head coach. So we had some really creative answers. I appreciate everyone who chipped in. And so this morning we wake up. We wake up for the announcement. And by itself, it's a cool announcement by itself. But there was already the hype. The hype was out. What could this be? And Marshall announces, and it's in conjunction with Learfield. It's partnered with Learfield, that beginning in the 26-27 athletics year, all Marshall jerseys will feature a Marshall Health patch. That was the announcement. And by itself, that's a pretty big deal. And I'm not going to make light of that, because it's the first of that kind of a deal in the Sun Belt. So Marshall's the first Sun Belt program to have a deal like this. And if I've read correctly from A.D. Harrison, I think there's like 3 other universities that have a similar deal like this in the country. So Marshall's really among the first. And so it's the first all-sport jersey patch. It basically is a deal that begins in August. So the Marshall Health Network logo is going to appear on the uniform of all sponsored NCAA Division I men's and women's sports teams that represent the Thundering Herd. So now you have the opportunity to do jersey patches. And so Marshall has jumped on board with this. NIL is definitely having an impact. Marshall needs all the revenue it can get to continue to be competitive. And so this is a pretty interesting deal, right? Marshall's being creative, looking for new sources of revenue, taking advantage of what's been put before it. And so by itself, this is a pretty big deal. I'm curious, though, how this works. Someone pointed this out to me today, and I was joking with them, like, "Hey, what if WVU Medicine would have bid on this? You could have had the WVU Medicine on the jersey. That probably wouldn't have flown. I mean, the money's right. Marshall football brought to you by WVU Medicine. If the money's right, you take that money, right? No. So this was pointed out to me by someone. I can't take credit for this. But this is Marshall athletics, Marshall football, Marshall basketball, Marshall athletics, presented by the Marshall Health Network, which is the official healthcare provider of Marshall Athletics. So the team is presented by the official healthcare provider. I mean, there's so much branding going on here. I mean, you see those jersey patches, you see those uniform patches, and there's just going to be so much branding here, so much Marshall, branding going on here. And on the flip side of this, is this going to benefit Marshall Health outside of Huntington and the region? Or is this a play for Marshall Health to kind of get the name out there even further? Start having it show up everywhere, and you know more about it, you hear more about it. Is there a play to kind of turn Marshall Health into something that is beyond, the immediate region? Is this going to cross borders? I'm sure there are ambitions to make it the best health network possible and get to the point where sometime in the future there'll be people traveling because of the value that Marshall Health offers. And so it's a great idea. Would you've been able to get more money, say, like Nucor? Nucor does jersey patches. If you look at the Carolina Hurricanes, you watch hockey, you see those patches. Would Nucor, could you have went up to them and say, hey, we got this first time opportunity? Or is this going to be sort of a test bed? Like, let's see what it looks like. Let's see what it does. Let's see how much we can get out of it. And, of course, this isn't just a freebie here. Marshall Health, the network, it's putting the money into this. So this isn't a freebie. You just didn't slap this thing on and go, okay. But could you imagine if this works out, the next time this thing becomes available, it's going to fetch a higher price? And maybe then you go to a Nucor and say, look, you got the steel plant up, you got everything rolling, and you want to get the name out further, and here's an opportunity. It's going to be all sports. Might be a pretty good deal. And so, important announcement. Very, very smart to take advantage of this early. Be on the forefront of this. But then we go back to the way this was teased. And we started getting hyped for this. What could this be? What is this announcement? Going to be a new jersey. Going to be a new helmet. It's going to be something. And you know where people's minds go. They look at this tease video and think, okay, it's going to be something really cool. And it's going to be something that, we're going to get a new helmet sticker maybe, a new design. We're going to get a new helmet or something. They're going to debut something. They're going to tease it for an upcoming game. It's going to be really cool. Fans get hyped for things like this. Absolutely get hyped for this. And then you get this announcement, and did the announcement match the hype? I'm going to ask that question one more time and give it to you on the text line. Did the announcement match the hype in your head? 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. I got a personal message this morning from someone who was looking forward to this announcement the night before. And they messaged me. And again, I protect the names of the innocent at all times, especially if you have access to the private channels. And the message I got was simply this: a friggin' jersey patch was the hype. That came from the personal back channels, from people that were excited about, hey, what could this be? What could this awesome thing be? They're hyping up. It's a jersey patch. That's it. That's kind of the noise I got this morning from a few people. We'll get your thoughts on it when we continue on this edition of The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Imagine the perfect chicken tender. Crispy, juicy, for lack of a better word, tendery. Now imagine these perfect tenders at Wendy's. 'Cause they are. Wendy's new chicken tenders are here with delicious new dipping sauces like Wendy's Signature, Creamy Ranch, and Honey Barbecue. And they're so good, we even changed our name from Wendy's to Tendies. I believe that's what the kids call manifesting. For Tendies you're gonna know by name, gotta be Wendy's.
At participating U.S. Wendy's.
Looking for a secure savings account? Come to Desco Federal Credit Union and explore our latest offers. With great rates and top-of-the-line personnel, Desco ensures your money for at least $1 million. Relax and put your money where you know it's safe and growing. Desco Federal Credit Union is located at 1211 Carter Avenue and other locations in Ohio and West Virginia. Stop in or go online. An account at Desco is just what you need. DescoFCU.org. At home or at work, in the car or at the gym, there's nothing more convenient than the fast service and the quality products brought to you by Tyler Mountain Water and Coffee. If you're always on the go with family, friends, coworkers, and business associates, give Tyler Mountain Water and Coffee a chance. They have everything that you need, from filtration coolers, coffee for your work, at-home delivery, and 8-ounce, 10-ounce, and half-liter bottles, or by the pallet. Tyler Mountain Water and Coffee, where great taste just comes naturally. Visit us at tylermountainwater.com.
At Food Fair, your savings just got smarter. Introducing Cart Cash Rewards, where every trip takes you further. Unlock brand new digital coupons, even exclusive offers you won't find anywhere else. Clip them right in the app or at checkout and watch the savings add up instantly. Ready to start saving more? Just text CART to 87573. Food Fair, conveniently fresh.
What if confidence wasn't something you wished for, but something you felt every time you looked in the mirror? At Alchemy Aesthetics, beauty is backed by science, transforming the ordinary into the extraordinary. From Botox, lip filler, and facial filler to advanced skincare treatments and rejuvenating facials to enhance your natural glow. At Alchemy Aesthetics, it's not about changing who you are, it's about revealing your best self. Book your consultations today, 114 South 2nd Street, Ironton, where beauty becomes confidence.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like customer service associate at a dry cleaning shop.
Yeah, hi. I'm here to pick up my suit.
Ah, yes. Here you go.
There must be a mistake. This is too small.
It shrunk a whole lot. Look on the bright side. Now you have a suit you can gift to a child.
This is your job for sponsored jobs.
This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
Dell PCs with Intel inside are built for the moments you plan and the ones you don't. For the time you forgot your charger at the gate.
Passengers, we are now on our initial ascent.
Or when you're bouncing between projects like a ping pong ball. We build PCs with long-lasting battery life, so you're not scrambling for an outlet. And built-in intelligence, so you can stay focused on whatever you're doing. Dell Technologies, built for you. Dell.com/Dell PCs.
Hi, this is Dave Wilson, host of Metro News Talkline, and you're listening to The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Text line is open, brought to you by Clark's Pump and Shop at 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. We've been talking about the announcement this morning from Marshall Athletics that the Thundering Herd has partnered with the Marshall Health Network, the All Sports Jersey Patch partnership through Learfield. So a great way to generate revenue for the Thundering Herd, take advantage of the new regulations that allow the patch. And so an all-sport jersey patch benefiting both Marshall and Marshall Health. The hype on social media yesterday for the upcoming announcement, people thought it might have been something else. We go to the text line, and texter says, Paul, I don't think the announcement matched the hype. Appreciate the text. Thank you. So a little disappointing, at least for one texter. Also, when we were talking about some of the responses, I asked for wrong answers, what the announcement could be. And I mentioned, hey, somebody wants Benji to come back. Texter just texted in and agreed with that and said, hey, Benji coming back needs to be a must. That is firmly cemented in my mind from my childhood. You can get your text in as well, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. There's just something about a man on a Harley dressed as a bison, the Harley dressed up as a bison. It's a bison Harley. And then on the back, Marco riding back, coming out, leading the way, right? There's just something different about that. I've still been an advocate for a real bison. I continue to be an advocate for a real bison. I don't know if I'm going to have to start the hashtag real bison, get something going here, get some social media engagement about that. I think a real bison running would be awesome. I don't know if that's ever going to happen. Where would you keep the bison? Would you have to keep the bison elsewhere, farm somewhere? Could you have a bison trained well enough to run the field at Marshall University? Would there be some thought of, okay, the bison's going to run over the band? Watch out, band. The tuba player gets taken out because the bison went the wrong direction. We get a lawsuit on our hand. We don't need any more of that, especially with band gear. No more lawsuits, please. So Benji was the safest bet. A man trained to ride a Harley, dressed up, the Harley that is, as a buffalo, a bison, with Marco on the back. I like it. 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. That's our text line to be a part of the program here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. So if this works out, and this is a deal in which Marshall Health becomes more prominently featured, more known, period. A lot of people probably don't know about Marshall Health. Outside of the immediate area, what do you know about Marshall Health? Have you heard of it? Yeah, that's probably a good question. University is trying to grow and diversify. Marshall Health is trying to grow and diversify. Of course, there are other providers throughout the state. WVU Medicine, Vandalia Health. There are some other providers throughout the state. And so, Marshall Health is trying to get its name out there and trying to establish itself and, grow as well. And so if this works out, do you keep this deal, right? Or, do you look at this and go, okay, we could probably generate a lot more money now. Show that this is really good. And so you raise the price of this a little bit. And then I use Nucor as an example, as an entity that, would have financial ability to maybe do this, unless there's something else in mind there. If you were able to pitch this, what company, what brand would you have pitched this to? Texter says, Paul, Benji still has the motorcycle ready to go. Oh, please, bring that back. Absolutely, bring that back. Just for old time's sake, for nostalgia. You don't do it every game, but, we could have one game a year where you hear the motorcycle rev, and then, boom, here comes Benji. I would make it a surprise, or try to make it as much a surprise as possible. Come down the ramps, open the gates up, and the next thing you know, you hear the motorcycle, and you just here he comes. And then the team falls in behind him. I don't know if you could pull that off, but I'd be here for it. And if he's got the motorcycle ready to go, let's do it. Absolutely. Or make him the marshal of the homecoming parade. Texter says, ask Jack Lingle about his experiences with the Bison. I remember the conversation. It's been a while. And yes, I acknowledge that there was an attempt before. About several years into my early years. And I know we've had different variations of Marco, and of course Marsha, the female Bison mascot. You had Marshall, Marshall College, Marshall College. So you have Marco, and Marsha was Marco's friend. Let's bring Marsha back. 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. I want to know what you remember. If you are a Herd fan of a certain era, I want to know what you remember about the Bison. And is there anyone that remembers Marsha? 304-396-TALK. That's the text line, brought to you by Clark's Pump and Shop here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
The Summer Fun Passport is here. Sign up now for this free passport and earn prizes all summer long. Head to the station's website or Facebook page. Click the Summer Fun Passport link and register. That enters you to win a 3-night trip to Myrtle Beach. Amp up the fun by visiting our participating local businesses. Check in on the Summer Fun Passport and you'll earn points to win more prizes. Check in with these businesses when you arrive. Two Cousins Grill and Bar, Austin's Ice Cream, Alchemy Aesthetics, Barbersville Park, Drifters Bar and Grill, Vineyard in the Village, Classic Liquors Huntington and Canova, Go-Mart, Jerk Riley's Billiards and Irish Pub, Barbersville's Farmers Market, and the Barbersville 4th of July Fireworks. The Summer Fun Passport's brought to you by Tailgaters Carryout, Coons Corner Sip and Shop, and Kindred Communications. Get on this station's website, sign up for your free passport, and win all summer long with the Summer Fun Passport.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-511-3535. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider, 800-511-3535. That's 800-511-3535. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with, call Big Lou at 800-511-3535.
Since 1953, General Building Supply has been a cornerstone of the tri-state area. From the early days on 3rd Avenue, we've kept one thing constant, a commitment to quality and service. Whether you're looking for premium windows, siding, or hardware, we provide the craftsmanship your home deserves. We stand by every product we carry and always there to service while we sell. That's a family-owned promise you can build on. Financing options available. Tri-State proud. Serving our community. General Building Supply, 618 7th Avenue in Huntington.
Spring is blooming at the Greenup County Public Library, and so is a full calendar of fun. From crafts and clubs to movies, yoga, and family events, there's something happening all month long at your local branch. And don't miss the big kickoff to summer reading. FastPass sign-ups run May 1st through the 13th at any local branch, giving you early access to the fun. Join us Thursday, May 14th at 6 p.m. for the summer reading kickoff, or get in early at 5 with your FastPass. Regular sign-ups begin May 18th. Get all the details at greenuplib.org, and let's make it a summer to remember.
This summer, follow country roads to West Virginia's spectacular state parks. Turns out the getaway you've been looking for isn't far, and it doesn't have to cost a lot. With affordable stays, mountain views, and waterfalls that make you slow down a while. It's all right here. Plan your getaway today at wvstateparks.com.
Save big money on everything for your next project at Menards. Steelworks offers a wide selection of aluminum and steel materials for any project. Choose from durable steel angle iron to tubular steel and aluminum and steel sheets and rods that are built to last. Perfect for DIYers and professionals alike to get the job done right. Save big on Steelworks products at Menards. Plus, check out our weekly flyer at menards.com for more great deals.
Save big money at Menards.
You're listening to The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Final segment for today's edition of The Drive here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Our text line, it's brought to you by Clark's Pump and Shop. We do that at 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. We've had an interesting conversation today about everything happening with the new announcement that Marshall University and Marshall Health have partnered up to bring Marshall an all-sport jersey patch. This partnership through Learfield, first of its kind in the Sun Belt. It's a 5-year deal. And so the hype for this was real yesterday. A lot of people wondering, what could this be? What is this announcement that Marshall University is teasing? And as a lot of you have said to me personally and privately, not on the surface, this is a great deal. But for the hype that was going on for it, not really what we were expecting. Just a polite way of saying it. If Marshall would have just come out with this announcement and presented it on Friday, I think that would have been pretty cool and just, hey, this is a pretty big deal. This is good. But you've got the teaser for the patch. And so I think a few Herd fans, at least ones that are telling me, feel a little underwhelmed and feel like a little switcheroos going on here. Didn't buy into the hype needed for this. But as I said, all by its lonesome, standing on its own, this is an important deal for Marshall University, Marshall Athletics, to generate revenue for the program. So as it stands, I mean, this is pretty cool. And it's a 5-year deal. And once the 5-year agreement's up, you could look at this and go, hey, this is pretty successful. We want to re-up. The price could go up. You could have went into this partnership knowing that, okay, this is going to be the test run for this. And once this is up, we'll put it out there, put it on the open market, see if it can attract different provider, different brand, different sponsor, different somebody to want to spend the money on this, bring in some different revenue, new revenue. You know, you don't know what kind of opportunities are going to happen here in the future as well. You know, what's going to open up for, spots at the facilities. Yeah, absolutely. What's going to open up? You know, what are you going to be able to do next, signage-wise, branding-wise? You know, already, you've got the on-court logos. Of course, you got the scoreboard signage. You have signage inside the Henderson Center and the football field as well. The scoreboard, definitely a gigantic, continuous billboard. You could do more. You could have maybe more digital signage outside of the Henderson Center. I don't know if I want that, though. It's revenue, yeah, I get that, but I don't know if I want that. I don't know if I want... I mean, I'm not opposed to finding new ways to generate revenue, but I don't want to get to the point where we just have hundreds of patches out there they kind of just blend in and you don't even pay attention to them anymore, like NASCAR. You know, the NASCAR sponsorships are crazy. And don't even get me started on what the soccer kits look like, where the primary logo is the sponsor, not of the team, of the sponsor. I don't want to get to that point. Not yet. Not anytime, to be honest with you. So, but this is a good deal. And honest. And in different sports, you know, maybe it could open up. Maybe you could put sponsor logos further on the uniform and in a way that doesn't detract too much. You already do it in different sports. Why not do it for football? Yeah, how many logos, how many sponsor patches, logos could you put on the helmet and still be okay? Not take away from it. How many can you get away with on there? 3, 2, 4 be pushing it, you know, and on the back. You know, you don't want to have it like on the side. Just have helmet stickers. Maybe, I mean, would that even be real estate that you would want? You could have a logo sticker on the back side. I mean, it's not the most prominent spot, so, you know, what would the value of that be? It's different than, say, the jersey patch, because the jersey patch obviously is going to be featured more prominently. It's going to be on every jersey, every uniform. So a lot of visibility for Marshall Health is going to be generated over the next 5 years. You know, every photo that someone takes of the Thundering Herd player in whatever action pose is going to have a good chance of having that Marshall Health Network logo there. And that's the point. It's going to be continuous branding, imaging. It's going to be around for a long time. Someone takes a photo. I mean, look at it this way. Take a photo, you post it online, say your media outlet, you take the photo, you post it with your story. There it is. You see the player, you see the Marshall Health Network logo. It's right there. It's branding, it's image. Can't get away from it. Same thing with TV. You know, you have video highlights, and hey, you're going to get a dose of that logo like you do all the other logos now. That the signage that surrounds is just going to be actually more prominent. It's going to be on the jersey, and it's not going to go anywhere. So this will be, in 5 years, I'm sure, worth even more for all schools. So if you're looking for creative ways to brand and image yourself, you know, this revenue will this opportunity will open up in 5 years, and we'll see where we go from there. But I would definitely make sure that I'd evaluate how successful this will be, and I would make sure that I am getting a nice piece of coin for this, nice price for this. And that's going to do it for this edition. Thanks for joining us. I'll be back with you on Monday here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
WRBC Huntington, W227BS Huntington, your flagship home of the Marshall Thundering Herd and The Drive with Paul Swann, ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.